thegreengirls.com.
Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino bhavantu. Loka samasta sukhino.
In Imani's Raw Kitchen at Alchemy in Hartford, and today we're going to do something really simple and easy, but you might want to know how to do it. These are organic almonds. I actually love California almonds, even though there's an issue with pasteurization. We want to make sure that we're getting raw almonds, and they are able to source. It's a little bit more difficult, but it is possible. And so we're going to use these raw almonds. We're going to soak them in filtered water, and then we're going to put them in our Vitamix. Right here I've got about 2 cups of these almonds with up to 6 cups of the filtered water, and we don't want to put it all the way to the top of the blender because, as you're going to see when you turn it on, it fills up and foams and expands quite a bit. So here we go. We're going to blend the nuts, the almonds, and you can do this really with any nut milk. I'm using almonds here, but you can use hemp seeds, you can use walnuts, you can use Brazil nuts, but for today we're using almonds, and we're going to use it with the water only and mix it up. Okay, so here we go. We're going to blend the almonds up. Blending them on high, because you really want to, a couple minutes blending them. You want to blend them until it gets to this white milky color. When it's nice to have a Vitamix. Here we have fresh almond milk. So this is not pasteurized, it's not packaged, and it's totally fresh. You can drink it like this, you can add it to granola, you can use it in your smoothies, your live. So for a smoothie to be raw, you need to have either raw almond milk that you make yourself like this, fresh squeezed orange juice, grapefruit juice, or any kind of milk, nut milk, whether it's hemp, walnut, but that's what you want to use when you make your raw smoothies. That will get you away from the packaged process thing that we're trying to avoid. And you see how simple and easy it is. You just got to get a nut milk bag, have a good blender, and if you need to sweeten it, you can add either some Ultimate Raw agave, or you can add some dates. So we're going to actually take this almond milk that we just made, and we're going to take Love Raw Foods, which is my other favorite organic live company here in the United States, Blue Mountain Organics. So we're taking their chia seeds, and we're using 1/3 cup. And I don't ever really measure, I just kind of guess. So we're going to do that, and we're going to add in about 2 cups of our almond milk. And the best and easiest thing to do, this is chia seeds. They're super nutritious, super delicious, and they make a kind of like a tapioca pudding. And so what we're going to do is mix this, get the almond milk kind of soaked, and the easiest thing is to get a container with a secure lid and just shake it around. And then as you're working on another recipe in the kitchen, you start something else. This is multitasking to the max. So we shake it around, work on cutting up the fruit that we're going to add to our chia seed pudding, and every 10 minutes or so give it a shake. And then when you come back to it, it'll be like a gelatin. My beloved husband just reminded me that I forgot to put the agave in because I didn't add it to the almond milk. So what I'm going to do is use my Ultimate Raw agave, squeeze a little bit in. We don't need a lot of sweeteners. We go very, very light on the oil and the sugars right here. And then we're going to shake it up, mix it up. And again, come back to this in a few minutes, because if you leave it and forget about it, it's going to turn into one big clump. Okay, here's the end result of the chia seed pudding. See how it thickens? It's almost like a tapioca pudding consistency. Not that I've ever eaten tapioca pudding, but it's kind of this thick consistency. I love to add fresh fruits. This is a good alternative for a breakfast treat if you're used to eating breakfast in the morning until you get into the habit of making a juice or a live smoothie. Okay, so here are our soaked and sprouted dehydrated walnuts. This is the only way we're eating them. They taste entirely different. Light, oily, it's amazing after you've soaked off all of the enzyme inhibitors. So the way that I do this is I take my nuts, and these need to be really dry and dehydrated. We talked about before the importance of not having moisture in the nuts and the dried fruit, especially when you're going to seal it up. So we want to make sure that we get all that moisture out. In the bowl, I'm mixing some cinnamon, a little bit of nutmeg, some Ultimate Raw Himalayan salt, just a teeny tiny bit, and then I'm mixing agave, Ultimate Raw agave, and I'm going to create like a syrup. So I'm going to mix this agave cinnamon mixture, creating like a caramelized Well, these are my caramelized walnuts that we're making here, and we're going to add this onto our chia seed pudding. So just creating like a syrupy mixture, coating these walnuts with the cinnamon sauce. So I'm going to mix the walnuts in and just thoroughly coat. See how simple that is? Now this is one that you would require dehydrated because you would have had to have dehydrated the walnuts, and then also this is a really gooey mixture, as you can see. So I'm going to put these back in the dehydrator for a couple of hours. Again, this is like a cinnamon roll treat. If you're like a cinnamon roll fiend like I am, I love, love, love cinnamon. It's good for the circulation, keeps you warm, and some of us need to be warm quite often. Sometimes eating raw food makes you feel a little chilly, and so you want to add some spice into your diet. So some of these spices are a good way to do that. So I'm trying to really coat this so that all the nooks and crannies and crevices of the walnuts are coated with this cinnamon sauce. And basically, again, simple ingredients: cinnamon, nutmeg, agave, real agave, and the salt. And then mixing it on top of the nuts. And then I'm going to stick it into the dehydrator for a couple hours, and they're going to come out caramelized like a treat. I put it on top of the chia seeds, or my kids, if I don't get to them before they do, they're all gone. So my kids love to just eat these by the handful. That's it. Simple, easy. So we're going to spread it out on the dehydrator on one of our Teflex sheets so that it doesn't stick and fall through, and put it in for a couple of hours until it's hardened. I spread them out so it's not one big clump, and voila.
TheGreenGirls.com.